I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
Busy season is here, and C2 Supply is ready to keep you stocked and moving. Whether you're tackling big jobs or everyday work, we've got the supplies to keep things running smoothly. Stop by C2 Supply, 602N, Broadway in Poto, or give us a call at 918-647-0430. C2 Supply, keeping your jobs moving all season long, and let us see to your supply needs.
You know your business. I know the fans. Together, we're a championship roster. In Arkansas, loyalty is everything, and nobody connects with the Razorback faithful like our team here at ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. When you partner with us at ESPN Arkansas, you're not just buying airtime. You're gaining trusted voices that talk to your customers every single day. I'm Ty Richardson. Let's grow your business together, both on air and through digital avenues. Become a partner at ESPN Arkansas. Email ty.richardson@HitThatLine.com to start your campaign today.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 47 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
I kind of like the rivalry we got with Arkansas. I mean, I don't remember the last time they beat us, so I kind of like that one. And the Battle Line rivalry, I mean, it's pretty good for us. So I think we'll just keep that one right now. That's a good one. I'm from the state, so that makes it a little bit more special and a little added incentive. So I'm not going to speculate about anything. Just because y'all don't think it's a rivalry doesn't mean it ain't a rivalry. It means a whole heck of a lot to my household. And I know we like having that trophy at the end of the game. So I think we'll keep the one that the commissioner set for us. But just as a reminder, I'm not going to answer any questions about the Epstein files.
I'm reminded of the great American philosopher Vincent Spicoli, who once observed that you're here and I'm here, so it's really our time.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
This is the Morning Rush.
Well, Tommy calls it my Olympics this week. We're here at Radio Row, SEC Media Days, Tampa, Florida. It's all brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. We'll be here the next 4 days giving you breaking live coverage of what's going on. Commissioner Greg Sankey spoke already this morning. You heard some old clips of Eli Drinkwitz that always – Tommy, no one's ever going to be Spurrier, but, like, Kiffin's really funny on social media. He's kind of dry. He's kind of dull at these things. I think Drink is, like, par for bar, been the most entertaining coach that we've had these last few years here.
Well, they have two different needs and goals about their appearance at media days. Kiffin doesn't need the attention anymore. He's a household name. He doesn't need for recruits and their parents like in the old days at Tennessee. He had to do things to get out of the pile because he was an unknown. Now he's very well known, and he doesn't have to do things to draw attention. Drinkowitz, on the other hand, needs to do things to get attention, and I think it's a little bit of he's a pot stirrer. He's a smart aleck. And he enjoys that. That's just his personality, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Kiffin can play both sides. He just doesn't need to play the side of look at me any longer.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Big C, do you have a coach that you enjoy listening to, or that you won that you're looking forward to hearing outside of Coach Silverfield this week?
Man, after hearing what Drinkwitz said, you kind of forget that there's such a big rivalry with Arkansas and Missouri, at least in his mind. Mm-hmm. And he normally takes some kind of shot at Arkansas, or if not, he at least mentions Arkansas
every year.
That's because of where he's from. Yeah. And if he moved on to a different SEC school that we played every year, he would feel the same way.
Yeah.
It's about being able to come back and having bragging rights when he comes home for a holiday.
Yeah. That's part of it. Well, it's again, there's been some crazy things that have happened here. Tommy, you always talk about Philip Fulmer getting served here at SEC Media Days. There's been other interactions. I know the big thing like Spurrier not having TiVo at his first team All SEC. Some that have You feel slighted if you're an Arkansas guy like Darren not getting the Spurrier's Heisman vote. But this is a week that, what do you always say about this week? It does what for college football season?
Well, it's the starter's pistol. To me, this is where college football begins. And what are we, 47 days? I was trying to do the math from Friday. We were at 50, so 47 days today. We were 7 weeks from last Saturday from playing college football on the first Saturday. So this is the run up. This is to me the starter's pistol at the beginning of the race. Coaches and players go back. They might have another week, but coaches are already in the office. Players are doing workouts, and we're 2 weeks from camp beginning in most places. Mm-hmm. So it's here. So you'll get through this week. You'll have one more week, and then it's on for real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we will, again, give you updates all throughout the week. Chris Dorian, former Florida wide receiver, playing under Spurrier, SEC this morning now with Peter Burns. He's an analyst for ESPN and the SEC Network. He's going to join us coming up at 10 o'clock. We've got the Open to talk about and how that concluded with Ryan Fox. Some controversy surrounding Bryson DeChambeau that we'll get into this morning. Davion Thompson, I guess, is officially reclassified. The kid that was committed in the 2027 class for Arkansas basketball, he's now a part of the 26, which all indications kind of led you to think that was going to be official. Well, it has been, and that National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. There's a really funny story, Tommy, I want to share with you coming up about, gals, listen to this, about a dog that lights his parents' house on fire with the toaster. Turn the toaster on and caused like $200,000 worth of damage.
He just wanted that bread. Yeah, he just wanted that bread.
Guess.
All right, we're live at Radio Row, SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, next to Baumwalker, the largest and best selection of Razorback gear anywhere south of the North Pole. Whether you need items for your tailgate, game day, your man cave, your dorm room, it doesn't matter. The Razorback Shop has it. They're local. Robert and Elizabeth and the family are alumni of the university, and you can give them a call at 479-782-3486. That's 479-STADIUM, or better yet, stop in at the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Tell them that Ty Richardson sent you, and you'll get a big, healthy discount, I'm sure. And you can shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
I told you I lost my favorite hat. I need to stop in there before the season. They had the Sweater Hawk hat. That's my favorite Arkansas logo, and somehow, some way, that is made
so
itself
funny.
Out of my closet. Do you have it?
I found one in the parking lot last week. That is awesome.
No, you didn't.
So,
that's not funny.
I got a new one. Didn't have to pay anything for it.
You would turn it in. I will say I'm a little miffed, a little frustrated.
Our lost and found department here.
Yeah. A little frustrated this morning. I told Alyssa this already, who's sitting next to me. So I am very schedule oriented. You worked with me now for soon to be 8 years at the end of this month.
Some might call it anal.
Yes, that's what my father calls it, and he's accurate.
There's nothing wrong with that either. I admire that. There's not much I admire about you, Ty, but that is one thing I do admire about you.
Well, unfortunately,
you set a great example.
I'm flying blind this week because my planner is sitting in the economy parking lot in the Tulsa airport. So it is sitting in my passenger seat because I had to do something that morning, so I'm obviously crossing it off. And of all the stuff I forgot, or all the stuff I was packing up, I forgot to grab the planner, put it in the backpack. So if something goes awry, if something goes wrong, that is the reason why, because I do not have my guide sheet in front of me this week. So I apologize to everyone listening if I screw something up, or my coworkers.
That won't be the reason you screw something up.
Well, it's like when you have this this cheat sheet, let's call it, in front of you, it's a little easier to kind of figure out life, per se, but now I don't have it. So it could be a rough 4 days. We're going to try and make it through it up to Arkansas Day on Thursday.
Well, whether you're in Tampa, Tulsa, or any point in between, take us along with you with the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. If you're craving something cheesy, saucy, or crunchy, Taco Bell has you covered. And now 10 items on their value menu at $3 or less. It's the Hit That Line Now app, and it's powered by Taco Bell.
All right, are either of you currently in the doghouse with your significant other right now on this Monday?
I get my mail in the doghouse.
What
are you talking about?
What about you, Big C? Are you in the doghouse with your significant other?
Not currently.
Okay, not currently, but you've been there before, Right. It's happening.
Sometimes it's more comfortable in the doghouse.
Yeah.
So.
You kind of like when she's mad at you. Well, it's a National Get Out of the Doghouse Day. And Tommy, you have dogs. Christian, you have Asher. So you guys, this makes so I want you to imagine what your reaction would be if one of your dogs burned down your house.
It's the mischievous dog named Bo who accidentally set fire to the house after pawing at the toaster and turning it on by accident. The kitchen was torched beyond recognition, $200,000 in damages. Even worse, 3 other pets perished in the fire, another dog and 2 cats. So you might think that after this disaster, Bo's owners, Shannon and Chad, might, well, have misgivings about their 8-year-old English lab. Did you reprimand Bo? Were you mad at him?
Oh, no.
Not even a little bit.
I was just so grateful he was okay. I mean, he doesn't know. I normally have that toaster unplugged. I was late for work that day. I didn't unplug it. It's my fault.
This is the opening drive.
I will say, Tommy, I don't know how it is in your kitchen, but I do have my air fryer unplugged, and the coffee thing is unplugged as well, my roommate's machine. I'm always scared something's going to go wrong there. But what would you do, guys, if your dog accidentally lit a toaster and cost $200,000 worth of damage?
As long as no one lost their lives.
3 other animals lost their lives in this. In this story.
As long as no life was lost, my kids were safe, my family was safe, I'd probably take the dog down to Doe's and not just get the bone, but the steak for it, because, if your house, that's why you pay insurance, man. Now I get a new house, so that I wouldn't be too mad at the dog.
Okay, what did you say, Big C? What was your response?
That is something 100% my dog would do, but it would not be. It would not be pretty because I would not be in position to pay that much money. So it would just kind of be.
That's why you have insurance.
I do have.
Does insurance cover animals lighting toasters on fire? And
here's my question: how do they know that's what happened? If you had a fire that was that destructive, how do we know that was the cause of it?
Well, I think the fire department is pretty good at analyzing kind of how things start, and I think that's what they inferred and found.
Well, how do they know the dog did it? I mean, I've got lots of questions here before we pin it on
Bo.
Before we pin it on the dog,
the English lab Bo. Yeah. Ryan says he'd shoot the dog.
Oh no! Ryan, they'll put you in jail for that.
I was gonna say that's more than that. That's more than PETA.
Block you if you did that.
Yeah, that's more than PETA. I was thinking about this because I've grown up with dogs: Montana, Abby, Peach, Blue. I've got my bonus sisters have dogs too. I was like, I'm trying to think what my reaction would be. Hopefully, I'll never have to find out. Hopefully, you guys don't either. But apparently, Bo's family still thinks he's a good boy, even after causing.
As long as my insurance is paid up. I mean, I've always said, if you see my house on fire and my family is safe, just drive around the block 3 or 4 times before you call the fire department. So
let it all go. It's like,
yes.
Well, to me, now help me on this.
Yes.
I'm not as knowledgeable on the insurance aspect that you are. So is it kind of like a car that's almost totaled? You're like when you get out and you're like, why didn't you just total it? Why if you're gonna crash into me, wreck the whole stinking thing.
Yeah,
don't
need
make
a total
me pay.
loss here. We need
a
total loss.
Yeah, is that the similar
to the
house
ground
mindset?
Yes, total loss.
Well,
as long as everyone's safe. Total loss.
If Tommy's house inexplicably lights up on fire, you can accuse him of arson, or at least suspect that he was involved.
Accuse me of a lot of things, but I don't think the dog is going to be in. Now, what we have problems with, if you leave a loaf of bread on the countertop and go to bed at night or something, it is gone. They will paw that thing off, and they will eat an entire loaf of bread like nobody's business.
You were asking.
I was so mad yesterday morning. I got up. I wanted to make me a tomato. I'm about done with my tomato. I want to make a tomato sandwich, no bread.
Oh, because the dogs ate it?
The dogs ate half a loaf of bread. Like, where's the bread, Laura? And she's like, there was a wrapper in the floor. Dogs ate the bread.
Dude, that's pretty. That's pretty funny. Chuck and Fayetteville, you were asking about, hey, how did they come to this conclusion? Evidently, they had a camera in the kitchen. It was all caught on tape that Bo had caused this fire. Preston and Fayetteville.
Did the camera burn up?
But it's probably one of those things that
online.
Are like, it's like streaming. You can get the footage.
Can't get away with anything.
Yeah, Preston and Fayetteville, that would definitely be considered an act of God on your on your insurance.
Absolutely, total loss. Those are the words you want to hear. Totaled or total loss.
Well, Bo is okay, but his other comrades are not, but his family is okay.
You haven't lived long enough to pile up layers of just crap. I mean, I feel like at my house we need a full-fledged dumpster about every 24 months and just purge the house. But man, you get to a point you got chip paint, you got holes in the wall because you got kids, you got a piece of trim that's loose, you got this plumbing issue. Man, sometimes it would just feel nice just to, it's like you need to move out of your house to fix all the stuff in your house. So,
it's fun.
You hadn't lived years long enough to feel this way, but I've been in my house 20 years. You just feel like, hey, sometimes I just want to wipe the slate clean and start over.
Tony, you speak of that. I know my dad likes to listen to the first segment or first hour, but I was running away from my bonus sister. I can't remember what I was said, and she was trying to slap me, and I really didn't want to get slapped. And so I'm running off, and I ended up slipping on my socks and nailed the wall with my knee and just put this giant hole. I had to pay for it. And I talked. Funny enough, I was talking with a partner of ours the other day, and in the background, he was in his old son's room, which is now the family. His office. And I was like, Chris, you doing some remodeling? He goes, no, this is something my son screwed up 10, 12 years ago, and we just hadn't fixed it. Yeah. And there's just like plaster on it or something.
That is where I'm at. I'm not fixing one more hole, painting one more wall, replacing any more carpet until my kids are gone.
That's probably smart.
I'm not doing it. I mean, you can come to my house. It's going to appear like gypsies live there. I don't care anymore.
Well, when you say gone, remember, they are going to come back from school for 4 years. Yeah. So it's really – You're not waiting, 6 and 7. You're really waiting 11 and 12 years. So you got a long way to go. But you'll miss them when they're gone. It's not just about the damage they cause the house. It's having an empty it. No, I get it. Listen, as the son that has caused the damage to my house, and now the frustrations I feel as a homeowner when one of my roommates do something that I don't like, I understand why my dad got mad at things back then. It makes sense from this perspective and this vantage point.
And someday they'll understand, just like I go out to leave on Saturday morning.
Uh-huh.
It's 100 degrees outside. The air conditioning's rolling. My daughter's got her bedroom window cracked about 6 inches. These are the things that as Rodney Dangerfield said, this is why tigers eat their young. You go over there to shut the window from the outside. You can just feel feel the air conditioning pouring out the window.
Oh, yeah.
God almighty.
That would drive me
Yeah.
That would drive me nuts. I did the whole I had OG&E stop by, and we tried to figure out anything we need to do. Apparently I need new windows. I have some one panel or some windows that
single pane windows.
Single pane, yeah. Apparently, and those are not good for.
No, they're not the most modern.
No,
they're probably not very energy efficient. So
that's what they told.
So what's the temperature there at Media Days?
Well, we are. They've got a really good setup. We're legitimately, Tommy, on the water. I mean, this hotel is at the end of.
It's on Water Street.
Yeah, it's on Water Street. Radio Row kind of loops around the main area. Greg Sankey, we're going to have some clips that we're going to play in just a bit of some of his things. I think that from at least what I listen to, maybe the two biggest things are surrounding gambling and then also just where this conference is overall. And he kept alluding to the fact that this is still the best conference because of the schedule and the rigorous terrain that you have to deal in, week out. But I think a lot of people are I think one of the main questions is, and we've kind of hit it on a little bit, how is the 9-game SEC slate for the first time ever in 2026 going to affect not Arkansas, unfortunately, but other teams potentially going to the college football playoff? You will have several 9-3 teams from this league, and how are they judged by that? And we're going to find out, I guess, this December.
All right. So Commissioner Sankey spoke at 8 a.m. our time, 9 Eastern. Today you got you mentioned earlier Drinkowitz from Missouri. You got Venables from Oklahoma. That's the morning rotation. Kentucky and Tennessee this afternoon. So those are the 4 schools that are on the dais.
Yep.
The dais today at SEC Media Days. But I'm interested to hear some. I know y'all are cutting up some of the audio. That should be interesting. Because I always equate Greg Sankey speaking to, something similar like in February when the president gives the State of the Union. That's kind of the State of the Union of college athletics for me is when Greg Sankey speaks at this event.
Well, and I think for today, Arkansas's got 2 opponents that you'll face. And I know Oklahoma's close to home, and there are people I'm kind of curious about John Mateer and how they're going to be this year. But Austin Simmons, if you remember him, you remember the guy that had one ankle for Ole Miss, Tommy, that converted that 3rd and 8. That's who their quarterback is this year. So you're dealing with him this October, end of October. Oklahoma, again, you got Heisman candidate and Mateer. That defense is going to be really salty, but how do they move offensively? Kentucky's got a new coach in Will Stein, along with Arkansas and some other schools. And then Tennessee, Josh Heupel, new QB. Aguilar didn't get cleared. So how do they look coming into Fayetteville the beginning of October, which I cited as the most important game in Arkansas' schedule, kind of where it bears out. So I think from an intrigue, if you're an Arkansas fan, I think it's about kind of what your opponents, and as we progress throughout the week, kind of some of the storylines about the opponents. And I'm intrigued by a lot of SEC stuff, but I'm really curious to see what news breaks when it comes to Arkansas opponents here this week.
All right, that's the opening drive live from SEC Media Days. It's brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is the number. Brandon was in here with us Friday making the picks on Friday and reminded us they're just a couple of weeks out right now for residential projects. So if you need a fence around your backyard, new gates for your backyard, want to do custom wrought iron installation around the front, powered automatic gates for your driveway, just a couple of weeks out for most residential projects. 782-3936 is the number. 479-782-3936. Call and ask for Brandon. You'll get a 10% discount up to $500 off on your project when you call now and mention the Morning Rush. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
All right, so I know this is surprising to you, Tommy, but we're already having Wi-Fi issues here. I feel like that's a yearly occurrence at Radio Row.
They never have enough bandwidth.
Yeah.
Never.
For the amount of.
You'd think that'd be the place they would have enough.
You would think so, Big C.
Nope, they don't bring in enough gigabytes there.
Knock on wood, Big C and Tommy. We haven't had any issues with the hard line, but thus far we still don't know the whereabouts of the Wi-Fi and everything else. We're patchworking for the time being, but hopefully we get that resolved.
He's laying the groundwork for something's going to happen in the course of the next hour and a half, and he's going to blame it on the Wi-Fi. You see what he's doing here, folks, right? He is laying the groundwork for something to go wrong, and he's going to, well, it wasn't my fault. The Wi-Fi messed up. I'm just telling you what's getting ready to happen here.
You saw right through my strategy, unfortunately. That's a bummer. Hey, I did.
I've done this for nearly a decade. I know what's going on. I know what's up, all right? I don't have my planner. The Wi-Fi was weak. I'm sorry. It wasn't my fault.
First off, those are, as you like to say sometimes they're not excuses. They're just reasons. Now, it was my fault that I left my planner in the economy parking lot in my car in Tulsa,
Why do you keep
Oklahoma.
pointing out economy?
Because I'm saving the station money. That's called being a good employee. That's called being a company man. It was several.
You could have flown out of X&A and gotten free parking at our buddy Dale's house.
It was more expensive to do the X&A, and Oklahoma City was closer to Tulsa than it was.
It fit your golf plans for the weekend. Let's just be honest.
Well, Chuck was surprised that I wasn't golfing down here. I was like, there was too much radio equipment that I had to grab with the golf. Hey, what do you think I shot at Oak Tree National, by the way?
94.
Oh, man, you think highly of me. I shot 100 on the nose, just like the Blessings. I had a chance to break 100 at both courses, and I choked on 18 at both. I missed 2 putts that would have got me birdies on both clubs, and I choked away at both. So that's the golfing news from the weekend. Well, we got the Open to talk about. Your Hog updates coming up next, though. Malik Thomas, Darius A. Cup, and more on the way.
Live at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baumwalker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave decorations, and dorm room stuff, it doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop. Local, family, alumni owned and operated. Shop online at shoponrazorback.com.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best items, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This building is one of the toughest to play in.
This is the Morning Rush.
Employee pricing for everyone and 0% financing on all 2026 GMC Sierra 1500s at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. You pay what we pay on GMC Sierra 1500s. And for well-qualified buyers, get 0% financing or save $15,000 off on the last remaining 2025 GMC Hummer. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
At Hardee's, we don't love bragging about the size of our original bag, but we do love bringing you the juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, crispy ham-breaded chicken tender wrap, or spicy chicken sandwich. All full-size choices, all faves. Plus, get fries and a drink, and all starting at just $5.99. When it comes to value, bigger is better. The original bag starting at just $5.99, only at Hardee's. Price may vary. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants. Tax not included. Not valid with any other offer, discount, or combo.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Back to school season is here, and great internet is essential for today's students. Wave Rural Connect can help with affordable, reliable fiber internet and strong Wi-Fi for homework, streaming, and multiple devices all at once. Get our connected home plan for just $56.95 a month. If you need more speed for a current plan, call us to upgrade. Wave Rural Connect, fast fiber internet, friendly customer service from a local provider. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any to find out. It's time for our very first Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources. Just visit us at 4515 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith and enter to win $10,000. While you're here, check out any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com. No purchase necessary, and see dealer for complete rules.
Your home for
every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
And McFadden goes 73 yards. And Repellent has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS.
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Tommy, I love our new time slot. You know why? Because breaking news actually happens during our show. Why don't you tell the audience what's happening in Madison Square Garden this basketball season?
November 17th, Arkansas is going to play Indiana as part of the Bad Boy Mowers Series, New York. I'm reading straight from the press release that came out, as we hit the break. Two iconic programs will face off in an iconic venue when the Razorbacks play the Hoosiers in Madison Square Garden on Friday, November 17th. Game time, TV designation, and ticket information will be announced at a later date.
How about that? Let's go. This was something Cal has alluded to a couple times, that they were still trying to work out a New York deal. So another big-time game. All right, so I'm doing this off the dome. So you've got Indiana in MSG. You've got Michigan State in Detroit. You'll have the ACC, which is North Carolina in Chapel Hill this year. You've got Arizona and Phoenix. Guys, am I missing one? Is there a marquee game that I'm missing off the top of my head?
No, I think you've
Big
got
C?
it. And that,
Tommy?
You got, like I said, Michigan State and Detroit. You went through them. I think this would probably round out any more announcements or big ones for the schedule, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been this rumbling, this rumor that they were going to play back in Madison Square Garden, but I don't remember any rumblings about Indiana. So all-time Coach Cal's 3-2 versus the Hoosiers, all coming during his time at Kentucky. So this will be his sixth matchup with the Indiana Hoosiers. Arkansas is 3-2 all-time as a program versus Indiana as well. So anyway, Friday, November 17th, the Razorbacks and the Hoosiers, Madison Square Garden. Do what I've already done, and go to your calendar, your phone, and see what's going on that weekend. Can I make this fit? This is something I want to do.
Weekend? It's a Tuesday, not a Friday, by the way.
The release says Friday.
Yeah, there's been a rescinded correction. It's
Oh, has there? Imagine that. So it is a Tuesday night, not a Friday. All right, because I went to my calendar right now, and I was like, the 17th is not a Friday. Who's wrong here? Is the date wrong? You could go out on you could leave out on that weekend, Saturday the 14th, come back on Wednesday the 18th. I think that's what I'll do.
And that's far enough away from Thanksgiving.
That's
you don't
the
get
day Arkansas plays South Carolina. We don't know a game time yet. We know the window. What is the window on that?
Isn't it a flex?
It's a flex. So they're all other than LSU at 11 a.m. That's the only home game. So other than Georgia, obviously, but yeah, you could go to the South Carolina game and fly to the Big Apple. So be awesome. So,
not bad. I think that's a we've talked about. You've got several. I was talking to a buddy who's with me in Tampa about the Phoenix. He's like, I think I'm going to go. You've got several opportunities. You've got New York. I don't know how many people are going to go to Detroit, but you've at least got that opportunity.
Well, no one's going to Detroit now that you can go to New York.
Yeah, you got Phoenix, you got New York, and Chapel Hill getting to go to the Dean Dome. That's an awesome college basketball.
Awesome, baby.
Yeah, it's cool. So that's awesome again.
You think about that. You're playing, like you said, North Carolina on their campus in the Dean Smith Center. You're playing Madison Square Garden. Was it Little Caesars or what's it called where the Pistons play there?
I think so, yeah. I think it's still Little Caesars Arena.
You're going to play in another NBA arena out in Arizona. You got some iconic venues, two, particularly North Carolina in this game that you're involved in this year.
That's a great
The
point.
Cal factor. So
yeah, and getting the ones in Budwell. All right, keeping it going. Speaking of Cal, a couple of his former players, Malik Thomas, Darius Haycock, got a chance to beat up. Malik went for 24 this past Friday, so continues. I think he's had 4 straight games of 20 or more, so he had success. And last thing, getting a couple infielders back, TJ Pompey and Nolan Souza coming back to campus. So Dave Van Horn gets a good a good part of the infield back for this next season.
All right, so that's where we're at. Big news: Arkansas, Indiana, going to play at Madison Square Garden Tuesday night, November 17th. And you can start making your plans to join the Razorbacks again. And the city will already be set up for Christmas. So it'll be great. All right, the Hog Update brought to you by WT Equipment. As we're turning the calendar from America's 250, it's a great time to support American-made products. That's exactly what you'll find at WT Equipment with Hustler Turf Mowers. If you're a commercial landscaper or simply want professional-grade equipment, don't miss the Hustler Pro Series event. Right now, you can get some of the best pricing of the year on qualifying American-built Hustler zero-turn mowers. So whether you're replacing one mower or adding to your fleet, now's the time to save. Don't wait. The Hustler sales event is going on for just a little while longer. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment in Springdale, Rogers, Berryville, or Searcy, and learn more at WTEquip.com. That's WTEquip.com.
So you had a couple of sporting events that happened this weekend. The Open Championship, which Ryan Fox took, and then Spain ends up beating Argentina in extra time, which I kind of thought watching that game, Tommy, it's like, man, Argentina's held on to extra time. They might get one or they might get this thing to penalties, but in the end, Spain was too much, and they get their second World Cup in 16 years.
Messi didn't have one shot on goal the whole game.
Yeah, Big C, they ate him and Argentina up. It was not an enjoyable game to watch, honestly, if you're a big-time soccer fan from that vantage point.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I saw the highlights. I was playing golf. I didn't center my day around that, but
be glad you didn't.
But it sounds like it was a very quiet game, and they kept Argentina very quiet with shots on goal. So I'm just reading through it and seeing the 1-0 outcome. I was hoping it, like you said, it would get to penalty kicks like the one did 4 years ago, and be about as exciting as anything in sports. All right, our Morning Rush Daily Question coming up. We're live at SEC Media Days on Radio Row, and it's presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Let your voice be heard. Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
I kind of like the rivalry we got with Arkansas.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with. I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for circuit judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you, and everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
And an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Passionate about sports? If yes, let's take that passion and put it to work growing your business. I'm Rita Newton with ESPN Arkansas, and I help people like you that own businesses connect them with our avid and loyal sports listeners through the power of radio with sharing your words, plus offering digital solutions. Whether you need more customers or more traffic on your website, I am your girl. So email me at rita.newton@hitthatline.com or call me at 479-353-1242. One email or one call away to working on a business plan to help you grow your business.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men, I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
Okay, we're back at SEC Media Days, Radio Row, as SEC Media Days now underway. ESPN on Friday put out the FPI, their Football Power Index, and put win probabilities next to all 12 games. North Alabama, the most likely win at 98.9. Tulsa's at 86.8, but from there it drops to 36% for South Carolina to as low as 9.8% for the Georgia game. Is ESPN right on these numbers, or are they selling Arkansas short?
A little short.
That is the Morning Rush daily question when it comes to the win probability according to ESPN's FPI. Because Arkansas is not going to be a favorite in any game outside of the two we mentioned with Tulsa and North Alabama, according to this. And you may not have a great chance to win a game at all past the Tulsa game, if the FPI is correct.
I think they're a little short. I mean, I can't see them going winless in the Southeastern Conference. I'm not high on them this year, but I'm also not like, let's jump off a bridge because of this football team, too. I'm kind of thinking I think they can get 2 games. The South Carolina odds being at 36% basically seems too low for me. I know Lenore Sellers is one of the better quarterbacks in this league, but I really do think that you could be facing an interim coach or a coach that will get fired if he loses to Arkansas, which we know the pressure that gets to coaches in those type of situations. So, yeah, I think this is a little low, Tommy.
There's 4 games below 20% chance of winning. Mentioned Georgia at 9.8. Texas A&M's below 10% as well. That's a road game. LSU's at 16.1. And the Texas game, according to the FPI, is the most difficult to win on the road and only a 4.5% chance of winning that game. Should we just write those 4 off?
The Auburn one. What the heck?
Well, it falls in a different category, but do we just write those 4 off?
No, you
established
said
coaches. I know LSU's got a new coach, but established coach.
Yeah, probably.
Do you? I mean, here's where I'm going with that. And the guys this morning were talking about it, and I agree with the take, and that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today.
Okay.
Is you really got to focus on about 4 games, and can you win 2 of them? Obviously, you got to win North Alabama and Tulsa. The problems are larger. Then can you go find a win at a place, well, home for South Carolina, Missouri at home, Tennessee at home. They've got the Auburn game, and you brought that up at 22.5%. I think that's one they have definitely sold short when we don't know nearly enough about Auburn. I think they're inflating Auburn and underselling Arkansas in that game. Vanderbilt on the road at 30%. There's 4 or 5 games here that's in that 30, 35% range that if you can go win 3 of those 5, 3 of those 6, well, now you got a chance to probably exceed most people's expectations. Because I think a lot of people think, well, you were 2-10 last year, you're not going to be much better this year. Well, 5 wins would be a whole lot better, and I think it would what I've talked about for weeks. It would affirm that you've hired the right coach and you're moving in the right direction. Now you'd have to have a bigger year in year 2, but I think 5 wins would be a great start for Silverfield, and I think you throw out those other 4. You can't go out there and get smashed 100-0, but at the same time, you really got to put all your chips to the middle of the table on winning those other 5 or 6 games.
A few of these texts, Brian says, of course they're bleeping right. Creatine Cramp says, I wouldn't count LSU out just based on some magic happening. Austin's saying, I might be a little optimistic, but I believe we beat LSU. If you've got some thoughts on this, Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963. Those 4 games that you mentioned that have a low percentile of winning, Georgia's not a rivalry game, but the other 3 are. A&M, Texas, and LSU. I know what the record is against A&M. You beat them twice since they've come in the league, which is not once since they've come in the league, which is not good. Texas, man, and LSU, when we've beaten those guys, when's the time that they have been less talented than us? The reason I point that out is because they're always going to have more talent, and obviously both those teams are going to be highly decorated, not just in the preseason, but probably at that point of the year. But there's been plenty of Arkansas teams that were thought to have no chance heading into those games, and they figured it out. The Texas game, where it sets up in the schedule, and LSU's going to be playing for a college football playoff. I don't think they're going to take Arkansas lightly. The Texas game, though, guys and gals, they play LSU on the road the week before, and they play A&M on the road the week after. Do you think they give a rat's ass about Arkansas in week 12? No, they don't care. So they're going to be, whatever Sark says, they're going to be so focused on that LSU game the week before and so focused on their rivalry game in College Station the week after. Now, they could still beat Arkansas by 3 touchdowns, not playing their best football, but I
you lose that game. If you're Sark and you lose that game, you're out of the playoff.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So, I mean, you say they're going to be focused on LSU and focused on A&M, but they've still got to beat Arkansas to make the playoff, under your presumption. So, because Arkansas, if the experts are right, it's going to have such a low place in the rankings and what people think of you, a loss of that nature is probably going to be enough to move you to the outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just tend to think that they're going to have a better chance than what the FBI is giving them at this point in time. And again, when it comes to being overly positive or overly negative. I think I'm somewhere in the middle of this football team. All right, that's your Car Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Best place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas is at Car Pass Social. Number one place that you can play one of over 1,000 different courses. They've got the summer memberships going on through September, starting at just $200 a month. What does that mean? Well, that means you can play unlimited golf at over 1,000 different courses. It's 68 degrees. Yes, 68 degrees. While it's blistering hot, 90, 100-something degrees outside. Check it out at cartpasssocial.com. And it's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. All right, speaking of golf, did you know Ryan Fox before this weekend, Tommy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's been a prevalent figure on the tour, and he's competed well in other majors, but obviously when he made that putt on the 72nd hole, he became known to everybody yesterday.
Well, he had himself quite a shot on 18 and then a putt to win the thing.
Ryan Fox, champion golfer of the year. He celebrates, and far away New Zealand celebrates with him. What a finish, what a way to take it. The stuff that dreams are made of. New Zealand has another major champion.
And Tommy, not that that's not a big story and what people are talking about today, but the bigger story is, I think, the Bryson thing, right? Has that kind of overtaken the Fox winning the thing?
The fact that he didn't end up in contention at the end and the penalty didn't matter one way or the other to the outcome, I think it's kind of quiet and down. But if you've played golf or you understand golf, you know exactly what Bryson was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He was back there and he was stepping on that grass, and maybe he's trying to get a line, but he knows the rules. It's his job to know the rules. He's a professional golfer. And it's not whether or not the swing path was affected by him stepping on the grass. It's whether or not he thought, by stepping on this grass, my takeaway is going to be a little smoother. If he did it with that intent, only he knows what he did, but he knows he's got to be extremely careful in those situations. And I think it was a correct interpretation of the rules based on my understanding of it.
Okay, yeah.
And I asked our golf pro yesterday what he thought. I asked a few people that know the rules, and they all agreed it should have been a penalty.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I don't think that. I think the problem I have is I've seen some other clips and videos that look kind of similar, and whether it's Wyndham Clark or others, and they didn't get assessed penalties.
It was the fact that the way he stomped down with a little force in those early steps, it seemed very intentional. You got to watch the beginning of it and the way, because it's when you're trying to take your club back through the heather and that gunch that's that thick. Man, if you think you've cleared yourself a little bit of a path, it's just in your mind that, hey, I can make this shot. And that's what, to me, is the violation of the rules.
Mm-hmm. Well, he obviously was not happy about that, but I thought the Rory McIlroy, the quick little snippet of him saying this.
I won't pretend to be up here and defend Bryson. I'm not particularly fond of him.
I thought that was one of the better clips of
love
the
Rory. He'll say what he thinks.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Rory, and not that Bryson DeChambeau is exactly my cup of tea either. But I did kind of chuckle when I heard him say that. I was watching, I think on maybe they called it on Sports Center or something. I did think that was kind of funny.
Why do you not like Rory? I'd be interested.
I think he's a tool. I think he's an arrogant cock. He's not from here, man. I don't really like anyone outside of the U.S.
He single-handedly saved the PGA Tour.
And I've commended him for that on these airwaves, but that doesn't excuse him from being a pompous you-know-what. Like, he's still a pompous, arrogant piece of you-know-what. And that's, listen, he's a really good golfer.
He's the only pro athlete that's that way.
And he's back. But there are people that I look past of some of their personality traits because I really enjoy him because they were a part of my favorite team or they're American. But he ain't American, so I don't have to like him.
Gavin in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying that the rules in golf can be silly. The Bryson thing is a penalty, but Scotty's shot, if you remember, on what would have been 17 yesterday, hit it short of a bunker, then was going for the hero shot, pulled it way left behind a temporary immovable object over there behind the bleachers and got a very favorable drop. People are trying to compare the two. Now, those aren't the same thing. They did find the ball, but I can see why people would think, well, why is Scotty getting this ruling and Bryson isn't?
Yeah.
But two totally different things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It'd be like holding on an offensive lineman versus pass interference.
Let me just say that
two different things.
Trying to play with the exact rules that they have to play through. I'm going to be honest. I've done that ground stomping thing 100 times on a golf court because mine often finds itself in the rough or the fescue. So
well, that's what we do.
Yes.
But I mean, I'll be honest. I've had that 7-iron out before, and it looked like you remember the old. You probably don't remember the old sickles where you would, my grandparents had one where you'd swing it through the weeds, trying to kill and knock down the weeds. That's how you'd mow high grass back in the day. It's a few practice swings here. You're knocking down the grass. You know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. No.
So we've all been guilty. Don't count that. I was interfered with. So yeah. The real thing to do for me and you is just move it out of there.
Yes.
We're playing the ball down.
Foot wedge. The old foot wedge.
Don't count that. I was interfered with. Winner rules. So, all right, we're live on Radio Row. SEC Media Days in Tampa, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Who we got coming up here in hour 2?
The former Florida wide receiver, ESPN and SEC Network analyst Chris Doreen, who played for the old ball coach and Steve Spurrier back in the day.
All right, so we'll talk to him, and of course, you know him from the SEC Network as well. Drinks on, Venables on. Are we going to hear from them before we're done?
We're going to hear from Drinkwitz live at 10:25 coming up.
It's all coming up. We're live at SEC Media Days, the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Homeowners, are you dreading a lengthy, expensive bathroom remodel? With Bath Makeover of Arkansas, you can have your dream bathroom in as little as one day. American-made baths, walk-in showers, and walk-in bathtubs. Revolutionary laser-etched shower walls that will never chip, crack, peel, discolor, or fade. Plus, with Bath Makeover's Price Lock Guarantee, schedule your free design consultation now, and we'll lock your price in for 1 year. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is also proud to be an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH during our 60-60-60 sale. Receive 60% off installation of a new bath or shower. With 60-month financing options, senior and military discounts, plus receive a $60 Visa gift card with purchase. And call Bath Makeover at 1-800-NEW-BATH for a bonus $50 Walmart gift card with estimate. Call 1-800-NEW-BATH. That's 1-800-NEWBATH.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best item, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
This is the Morning Rush. Dozy Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Dozy Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters. At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts, their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. How about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra. The perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling mid-size SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see lots of sunshine, lots of heat. Our high this afternoon will be into the middle 90s. That heat index right around 105 to 107. Mainly clear near 80 overnight, and then lots of sunshine, close to triple-digit readings on Tuesday with the heat index near 110. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
This weather information is brought to you by The Solid Rock, your source for inspirational gifts, home decor, women's boutique items, personalized Bibles, and more.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 47 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
I kind of like the rivalry we got with Arkansas. I mean, I don't remember the last time they beat us, so I kind of like that one. And the Battle Line rivalry, I mean, it's pretty good for us. So I think we'll just keep that one right now. That's a good one. I'm from the state, so that makes it a little bit more special and a little added incentive. So I'm not going to speculate about anything. Just because y'all don't think it's a rivalry doesn't mean it ain't a rivalry. It means a whole heck of a lot to my household, and I know we like having that trophy at the end of the game. So I think we'll keep the one that the commissioner set for us. But just as a reminder, I'm not going to answer any questions about the Epstein files.
I'm reminded of the great American philosopher Vincent Spicoli, who once observed that you're here and I'm here, so it's really our time.
Live from the Bud Light Studios, produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
This is The Morning Rush.
Well, we're at Radio Row here at SEC Media Days. Thanks to the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Arkansas will be up at the podium. Ryan Silverfield, the rest of the guys on Thursday. And we're going to get a chance to talk to a guy whose coach was probably the best at this time. I mean, Steve Spurrier, Chris Dorian, former Florida wide receiver. And we'll chat with him coming up in just a bit.
Live on Radio Row, brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. You can shop online at shoponrazorback.com. Local, family, alumni-owned and operated. Give Robert and Matt a call, 479-782-3486. That's 479-STADIUM.
All right, Chris is also an ESPN and SEC Network analyst, does the SEC This Morning with Peter Burns. Chris, I was asking, you never did one of these, but your coach, man, he was he was just a lightning rod. He knew how to play with the media and get things going.
Yeah, I never got a chance to be here as a representative of my team. I think back then they only took like two players, one offense, one defense. But, yeah, Coach Spurrier, I think he relished having the opportunity to come stand in front of the microphone. And one thing you always knew about Coach is he had some agenda. He wanted to get a message across, and he definitely did that with a couple zingers to incite the rival fan bases at the same time.
Now, the person behind you is a Florida State grad, so
Oh, no.
you guys can't get in a fight behind here.
No.
All right, so for a first-year head coach, Ryan Silverfield, Arkansas has been through a couple of these, as the rest of the schools have, with a new head coach. It's going from the American to the most attention paid to anyone in college football in the SEC. Do's and don'ts for him this week.
Oh, for Coach Silverfield? Man, I think the great thing that happened this offseason for me and Peter Burns is we got a chance to do an in-depth dive with the new coaches in the SEC. And honestly, I knew the least about Coach Silverfield before, going out to Fayetteville. We went to his house. He's got renovations going on. He's got his twin daughters running around. I think the best thing that he can do is do exactly what he did with us, and that's just be authentic and show his personality. I mean, this is a guy that grew up down the road from here in Jacksonville, and you look at the different stops along the way. He loves ball. Coached at a high school that went winless. He talked about living under a gymnasium at like a D3 school. He loves ball. He's been at every level. Coached at the National Football League level. Just be authentic about, kind of what this opportunity to coach an iconic program like Arkansas is, and the plan that you have. He's done a good job of going around the state and kind of endearing himself to the fan base, and getting the talent in Arkansas to think about staying in the state. And that was something that was kind of going the other way. So I think just being himself and being, open about who he is and what he plans to try to build there in Fayetteville.
So, Chris, you've watched this program, from your SEC network desk, and you've seen more downs and ups in recent years. So what has to change first for Arkansas to consistently compete with just the middle or the top half of the Southeastern Conference?
Yeah, I think when I think about Arkansas football, I think about physicality. I think the lines of scrimmage have not necessarily. Offensive line was good last year. Defensive line maybe not as good. I think they've got to get back to being more stout on the lines of scrimmage, and certainly Coach Silverfield's background as an offensive line coach should help that. I think the other thing is, let's be honest, there's starting to be the haves and the have-nots in the SEC with the money that's able to be spent on roster construction. You got to find a way to do things a little bit differently. You don't have the margin for error when it comes to missing on guys that you pay more money to. So, I think that's important. But the number one thing, I think, for everybody, not just Arkansas in college football, is the importance of the quarterback. You got to find the right quarterback, and you got to be able to have a quarterback that can elevate the play of the other 10 guys in the huddle and go win you a couple ball games, because you're gonna be in close ones that are gonna come down to a play or two here or there.
Arkansas has the toughest schedule again this year. That's nothing new for Razorback fans. But what do you see as the swing games? We were looking at FPI percentages in the last hour. What are the games when you look at Arkansas' schedule, you say, boy, you get one there and there and there, you can maybe make a bowl this year?
Yeah, I hate the fact that you said that, how difficult the schedule is and how now you guys are used to it, because it really is. Every single year it seems like Arkansas is being challenged with one of the most difficult schedules. I think first and foremost, you got to win your home games, and there's been a lot of disappointing Saturdays where folks in Fayetteville have gone home a loser. I mean, last year that Notre Dame embarrassment was probably the low point of the tenure of Coach Pittman. But I look at every team has a stretch run that kind of can define what their season ultimately looks at. And I look at the beginning of October, having to go to Texas A&M, having to come back the next week against Tennessee, and then having to go to Vanderbilt. There's a couple teams there. Texas A&M's a playoff team last year. Tennessee 2 years ago. Vandy should have been last year. If you find a way to win a couple of those ball games, particularly winning one of the two road games that you have to go to Kyle Field and then to Vanderbilt, I think that could be a very crucial point that could serve as a jumping off point for the rest of the year.
Chris Dorian with us, SEC Network and ESPN analyst. Chris, you obviously had success in this league from wide receiver standpoint, 1,000+ yards. Arkansas at one point in time, and you had Greg Childs, Joe Adams, Jerry's Wright all on the same team. Chris Gregg was lining up at tight end along with DJ Williams. Kind of an unheralded group this year. When you have a situation like that, and I know they're excited about Sutton Smith and Braylon Russell, how do you help a not necessarily a young quarterback in KJ Jackson, but a guy that doesn't have a lot of game experience in the SEC?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a difficult task, but I think the thing I go back to, we had some really good receivers at my time at Florida. I look at my senior year, it was me, it was Ike Hilliard, Jaquez Green, Riddell Anthony, Travis McGriff, our top 5. But if you look at the stats, like everybody was included in there, and the best thing you can do as a quarterback is not try to force a guy to get it to one guy or two guys. If you're able to call plays where the quarterback can make his reads and go where the defense defines that it should go, and kind of spread the wealth around. I don't think there has to be a 1,000-yard receiver necessarily for our Arkansas's offense to go. I think it's about distribution. Find who your alpha is that's going to demand some sort of double coverage, and then go to the one-on-ones and take advantage of those opportunities.
Chris, I would assume that at the end of the week we're going to have some combination of Georgia, Texas, LSU, in that order, picked near the top by the media. But who are some of the dark horse teams? Who could be the Vanderbilt this year that surprises everyone? Maybe not win the championship, maybe not get to Atlanta, but far exceed expectations. Who are some of those teams on your radar for that this year in the league?
Let me go back to LSU, what you said. I don't think there's more pressure on one program or one coach more than what's on in Baton Rouge at LSU and on Lane Kiffin. This is a pass-or-fail season for them. With as much money as they've spent on that roster, what they've done to bring Lane Kiffin in, they've got to find a way to get to the playoff, and their schedule's extremely challenging. So I don't know if I'd necessarily – I don't have them up at the top with Georgia and Texas. You can make the argument that maybe they deserve to be, but I just have a lot of questions about them, including Sam Levitt's health and ability to acquiesce to the new offense. But I go back to – I was singing the praises of Oklahoma last year. I think Oklahoma's going to be better this year than when they were last year. I know you lose R. Mason Thomas defensively, but you got a lot of production back. The offensive line is going to be better after having to go through some growing pains last year. They made a real effort to improve the pieces around John Mateer. Jason Witten as a tight end coach was a great get for Brent Venables and what they've been able to do to stockpile that position. So I think Oklahoma gets back into the playoff and makes even a bigger push this year. I look at, in terms of jumps, my alma mater, I think Coach Summerall takes a Florida team that largely underachieved with 4 wins. I think they double that up. I think they win 8 or more this year too. So I'd say they're the team that I'm looking forward to being maybe the biggest dark horse this season.
Chris, good stuff. Venables is up right now, so we'll get a chance to hear from him in just a bit. Appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me, man.
All right, Chris Dorian, former Florida wide receiver, SEC this morning. ESPN and SEC Network analyst here on the Morning Rush, and we'll have continuous interviews throughout the week here at Radio Row at SEC Media Days. Matt Berry, who's going to be the new SEC Nation host. Paul Feinbaum's going to join Alyssa, Matt, Colton on halftime, and we'll have interviews throughout the week live from Radio Row. Tommy.
Hey, at the end of a long day, how you spend your time matters, and whether you're on the water, on the trails, or just relaxing on your own, Farm Credit of Western Arkansas is here to help you get there. Visit myaglender.com or stop by one of their 25 locations today and see how they can help you make the most of your free time off.
All right, so I'll let you direct traffic. Do you want to react to that real quick, or you want to just go live to Venables?
Let's talk to Venables. Let's hear from Venables.
All right, let's.
Riveting.
Want to make sure I got my times right. He's supposed to be on right now. Well. Yeah.
Live radio, folks. Nothing.
It was, hold on. I mixed up the Eastern and
Central
time. 10:05 Eastern time, not Central. My clock on my computer is still showing 10:11, but my phone clock is showing 11:11. Apologies for that. But he did speak earlier.
You'd only had your planner, so.
If I only had my planner, it would have been better. This Eastern, anytime we go somewhere, like when we were in Providence for the NCAA tournament, obviously we're here in Tampa, Florida this morning. The Eastern to Central, or when we get on Mountain Time, like when you were in in Provo. It throws me off a little bit. I'm not going to lie. When I have different clocks and different timings, everything, morning rush, obviously 9 to 11 Central Time, but it's 10 to 12 here. It takes me a day or so to adjust. So hopefully that will be the only snafu that we have throughout the week. I thought the wide receiver group, I think, is interesting, not just because he played the position, but, I mean, when you think about that, last year it was Omega Blake. The year before it was Andrew Armstrong. I mean, you've had that guy emerge. I don't know if it's going to be Marshall. I don't know if it's going to be C.J. Brown. I'm really curious who ends up coming out of that group. Why am I blanking on the Pine Bluff kid? Jamie Christmas, who came over from Missouri. Thank you. Courtney Crutchfield, who came over from Missouri. So I think that's a really intriguing position group. Like you were talking about, you made a good point last Friday. We've talked so much about the position battle at quarterback that the other ones have kind of gone unnoticed. And that is, I think, a question that people want to know about and haven't initially thought a ton about is what are some of the other position battles, Coach, that are still going to be ongoing through fall camp when it starts up in August?
Yeah, we focus so much, like you said, on the quarterback position. Why haven't they named him? Why didn't they bring KJ to media days? Why is A.J. Hill being made? All these things. Well, how about the battle at left tackle? How about the battle at one of the defensive end spots? Yeah. You just mentioned wide receiver. Who are going to be your first 3 to 4 out? Mm-hmm. But we're so focused. Is it Braylon or is it Sutton? He's there at media days. Mm-hmm. Yes, the quarterback is the most important position. Yes, the number one thing that's going to determine Arkansas's advancement on this season versus the previous 2 or 3 versus is this just another recent year is going to be turnover margin. That's in the hands of the quarterback. But that's also in the hands of the defense. Can they produce some turnovers as well? So turnover margin's huge. The quarterback is huge in this, but let's not pretend like there aren't other battles on this depth chart.
Ellis and Harrison, time zones can be tricky time. My 7-year-old has a hard time when it comes to telling the differences too. Again, Ellis,
I can tell you in 10 minutes, Eli Drinkowitz at 11:25 Eastern.
Yes.
Is going to be at the podium.
I've got that one circled. Now, if it was in the planner, I would be better off. But because it's on this other sheet of paper, it's just kind of it's like a checking and savings thing. It's just hard to figure that out.
So do we need to break early to be back in time for that, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that's fine. Brandon Paris, I can't wait to start seeing a tight end that is a game changer for the Hogs again. Platt wasn't bad. I mean, they'll have I forget what's the other transfer that they brought in this season. I need to. See, this is another thing you got to do. It's July the 20th. I got to start re-looking at the depth chart. I got to start having these things off the.
And they haven't given us one yet.
Yes. So. Well, just the R-lads and stuff like that, looking at those and just kind of keep. But it's one of the other things.
Unofficial depth chart.
Yeah, the unofficial one. As you get closer to football season, you just kind of remember names and get back to it and everything else. But yes, drink is coming up here in about 2 minutes. If we want to break, we can do that and then come back.
All right, let's do that. Let me remind you, I know there was some exciting videos from our Hardee's qualifier at the end of last week. Another chance for you to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime is tomorrow from 4 to 6 at Hardee's on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Endless fries in the afternoon. Come in and dine with us. Monster Burgers, half price, Ty, while we're there? So you can get those. You can also qualify if you can eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less. So tomorrow afternoon's your next chance, 4 to 6, and you can come out and join us at Hardee's for that tomorrow for another chance to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime.
Big C, a lot of expectation. I can't remember if you were cold. We got 5 qualifiers when I was out there last week, so I want at least 5. Got to get at least 5. If not, outdo me. Get 6 or 7. So even get as many as you can this week. So we're excited about that. Going back to Vegas, like Tommy was saying, it's going to be an awesome trip giveaway. All right, when we come back, we'll hear from Eli Drinkowitz, get into some other stuff. Also, Greg Sankey was on the podium this morning. We'll hear what he had to say. The Morning Rush continues live from Radio Row in Tampa, Florida, thanks to the Stadium Shop on Razorback. Next.
We are at SEC Media Days in Tampa, Florida. Our coverage of SEC Media Days is brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback next to Baum Walker, the largest and best Razorback shop south of the North Pole. Whether your needs are for tailgating, game day, man cave...
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 4 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Kevin Hart here to tell you all about Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Hey guys, I kind of feel like you're chopping off my head a little bit. I'm the money. Don't forget that. It's spicy, balanced with a sweet and tangy citrus touch that makes everything taste even better. And the best part is it comes with, I kind of still feel like you ain't got all of me. The best part is it comes with anything on the Cantina menu. So you better try it before it's gone.
New jalapeno citrus salsa, the sauce with more main character energy than Kevin Hart.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
If your Razorback closet needs an upgrade, the University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you are looking for. Only at Roback.com. They have brand new Arkansas hoodies and polos that are selling fast. Go to Roback.com to check out their new apparel. That's Roback.com. RHOBACK.com. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with the free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let's...
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason, to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you in everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Now, we and I recognize that a 9-game Southeastern Conference football schedule, coupled with our expectation that we maintain a high-quality non-conference opponent, creates one of the most, in fact, I'm going to scratch what I wrote, it creates without question, the most demanding sets of football schedules in all of college football. The 9-game schedule reflects confidence in our universities, our student athletes, and in our football programs. It preserves great rivalries, historic rivalries, many of which are played every year. It creates more compelling conference matchups and reinforces our long-standing commitment to competitive excellence. When you look at our schedule, no one has created the kind of weekly competition that exists in the Southeastern Conference.
Remember, people are clamoring to play this 9-game schedule, particularly ESPN, ABC, Disney, because they want the marquee games each and every week and getting away from the crummy games that we occasionally have to watch. Well, the coaches were for it in the idea if there was going to be a movement and increase in the playoff to 16, but now we're going to have to at least wait on that for the time being. Tommy, that's the big question in the SEC this year when it comes to the college football playoff hopes is how many 9-3 teams there are going to be and how do they dictate who deserves to be in the college football playoff, because there's going to be plenty of them this fall, I think.
Well, I'm sure they'll arrive at a decision that will leave no debate. Everybody will agree.
Yeah.
And everybody say, well, they got it right. They didn't leave anybody out that belonged in there. I'm sure I'm sure early December, that's what we're all going to be saying is this committee nailed it again.
Nailed it.
And we're just eventually going to expand to the point where there's just there is no error left. Oh, well, we left the 25th team out in our 2014 playoff. Well, at that point, are we really arguing over a national champion? Yeah, let's let AI do it. We'll let Claude do it.
There you go, Big C.
Claude can do it.
So
he couldn't do any worse.
There hasn't. Now, you helped me on this, and this may be like a question. Has there been a discrepancy on if Arkansas should have been crowned the national champion? I know 64, right? And we think we won. And I know the rankings came out before they were finalized, before the final game. It's kind of a weird deal, and then they flipped it the next year. But, I can't think of – you would have been in the playoff in 2010. You would have been in the playoff in 2011. I'm trying to think. There's 06 probably. Even because maybe you were 9-3, I guess, by the end of the regular season, or 10-2. So you would have been there. I mean, in those years, Tommy, Arkansas had lost, I think, 2 games most of those years, and you would have been in the playoff those 3 games or 3 years I just listed out.
But there wasn't a playoff.
Yes.
So, well, I get were we at 4 teams in, or is this still the BCS?
No, it hadn't been. Still BCS because Arkansas, because you're 3v1 in Baton Rouge, 2011, up 14-0, and then the Honey Badger ruined our day.
Ranked 3rd in the country and 3rd in your division. So
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that's the way it was.
Oh man, but that's that was the scheduling portion of it. Again, Eli Drinkwitz, we're about to go to him in just a sec. You've had Brent Venables already this morning. You're going to have Will Stein and Josh Heupel, so another Arkansas opponent, Josh Heupel. They've got a new quarterback. He's going to be up later this afternoon. So that's the setup for the first Monday. And then tomorrow you got every Arkansas opponent on there, Tommy. You got 4 of them. Yeah. Venables, Lee, Smart, and Shane Beamer. So you got 4 Arkansas opponents, coaches, tomorrow in 2026.
All right, that's your SEC update. It is brought to you by Bet Saracen. I know with the World Cup over, now our focus really from a betting standpoint is going to be back on Major League Baseball, WNBA, going on, plus preseason NFL and college football lines that are out there as well, plus the Canadian Football League. For all you degenerates, you got to find some football to gamble on. The CFL is out there as well. Find it all at the Bet Saracen app. Download it now. I know Caitlin Clark back. She had 45 the other night in her game back. So you can check it all out with the Bet Saracen app. Download it now. That's betsaracen.com.
All right, let's go to the main podium. I bet Sankey's introducing Eli Drinkwitz right now, and hopefully there's not static.
First 6 seasons. And in just 6 years, Coach Drink has already tied for 4th on the win list in all-time program history. Drinkwitz is married to his wife, Lindsay. They have 4 daughters. And he did something that doesn't sound as much fun to me now as it used to. He just left a vacation, which included stops at the beach, so that's a good thing. Montana's a good thing. And Washington, D.C., where he and his family got tours of the White House and U.S. Capitol. I'm surprised I didn't bump into him during that visit. One cool note, his daughter Addison made the trip today to SEC Media Days, and she is shadowing Alyssa Lang here today. And lastly, I want to express my appreciation. Eli is a member of the NCAA Football Rules Committee, which you've got plenty to do as a head football coach in the Southeastern Conference, but he has embraced that role and that responsibility. Appreciate his communication with both myself and members of our staff around football rules issues, which need ongoing attention. Welcome to the stage, University of Missouri head football coach Eli Drinkwitz.
Well, that was a rousing, loud applause that I just received there, so really appreciate that. You know, it was great to be in Washington, D.C. You know, people asked me if I had ever seen a place more divided. I said, yes, SEC Media Days with all the fan bases. We all have our own factions right there that we support. So it's great to be in Tampa, excited for another 2026 college football season, my 7th at the University of Missouri. Somebody just asked me if I could talk to the 2020 version of myself, what would I say to myself? I'd say you made it to year 7, man. Keep on trucking. Pretty amazing thing to be able to be thankful for. I do want to start out by saying I want to thank Marcy Girton. Marcy Girton has been my football sport administrator for the last 3 years and has chosen to retire, and she will no longer be serving at the University of Missouri, and she's going to announce it tomorrow. So I wanted to beat her to the punch and pull a Pete Thamel on her and announce it to the media. But Marcy has been a faithful servant to student athletes. She does it for the right reason. She's left Mizzou in a better place than she found it. She served at multiple other SEC institutions, and everybody knows that she is a class act when it comes to student athlete wellness, student athlete performance, and having the best interest of student athletes. And so I want to say I really appreciate her in her life's work and mission in education, and we're gonna miss her. And well done, Marcy. I'd also like to update y'all on Ahmad Hardy. I know that I've been asked a lot about Ahmad, and I did the very best that I could to save this update for the main stage. So what I want to tell y'all is this was a great opportunity for Ahmad to learn, and it was a great opportunity for our student athletes to learn. It was also a great reminder that there is no place for gun violence in this world, and that we need to do a better job of policing gun violence, not criticizing the police or the rights to bear arms, which is a Second Amendment right, but just saying that there is no place for gun violence, especially for our youth in society. Ahmad has been medically cleared from the bullet that struck him, and he is on the road to recovery. He did have the bullet did strike a bone in his body, and that has been fully healed and cleared. And today was his first day back towards a full recovery. We anticipate that he will make a recovery. What that recovery will look like after having a bullet, strike you is still to be determined. We do not know exactly what the return to play progression is because there's not a lot of literature and data on this, but we are utilizing our medical team along with our athletic performance team and nutrition to approach this at a very good pace. We do anticipate that this return to play protocol could take anywhere between 5 to 8 weeks. And at the end of the 8 weeks, we still don't know what his recovery will be from is he the same Ahmad Hardy that was last year? My anticipation and what I've seen, the way he's attacked his rehab, he's going to be a better Ahmad Hardy than when he was before. And I'm very proud of the way that he's approached his recovery. I'm not sure that his riding horses was part of the recovery protocol that his surgeon had in place. But hell, John Wayne rode after he'd been shot. He turned out all right. So Ahmad Hardy's trying the same approach. Now let's talk a little bit about Mizzou football. Our team is a combination of I'm trying to read my own chicken scratch here that I wrote last night. It's not, the math ain't mathing here. No, our football team is a combination of player development and talent acquisition. We have 54 new players on our roster when you combine transfer portal and freshman additions. Combine that with 115 players on our roster, you got a roughly 50-50 match of new additions and current culture players, guys who understand and retain our culture. So we're having to do a really good job of combining that. And as a head coach, you got to do a great job of reteaching the foundation and framework and culture of your program while also embracing the individual identity of every new player on your team. And we're trying to do that. Our 3 players that we brought with us today are a great combination of that. You got Nick Rodriguez and Jamal Roberts, who have been with us since their high school commitments. Nick Rod, although he needs to button that top 2 shirt, he's got a little bit too much chest hair hanging out for me, but that's his style. He's Argentina. I'm surprised he even showed up today with that loss they took in the FIFA World Cup, but he's managing to face that adversity. But Nick has been a really good player for us on the defensive side of the ball, and it's his opportunity to really step up. Jamal Roberts, who represents St. Louis and a guy who had plenty of opportunities to leave but chose to stay and cement his legacy as the Missouri Tiger, has been an incredible player for us and a great leader and somebody that represents our state and the city of St. Louis, a heartbeat of the University of Missouri, really well. And then you got Caden Green, a young man who transferred to us, has been a 3-year starter, as a guy who's one of the best offensive linemen in college football, and a guy who represents Kansas City, Missouri, which is also a heartbeat of the University of Missouri. So for those 3 guys to understand our culture and be able to implement that culture with the transfers that we got in, like Chris Graves Jr. or Austin Simmons or Caden Lee, it's been a really cool thing. For us, we have the same mentality that we've always had. We want to have STP, something to prove mindset. And everybody at the University of Missouri has something to prove every day, something to prove that we belong in the SEC, something to prove that we can win at a high level, and something to prove that we want to do it this year. We've always been a developmental program, meaning guys who have earned the opportunity to have their star shine. It's their turn. Guys like Jalen Marshall and Marquise Graciel, Santana Banner, Langdon Kitchen, Darius Smith, guys like Tristan Wilson, guys like Jamal Roberts, guys like Donovan Alubade and Sean Terry and Demarion Folks, and combine that with great transfers, guys like Luke Work, guys like Elijah Dotson, guys like Chris Graves Jr., guys like Zach Owens, guys like Zyshawn, guys like Caleb Goody. These are guys that get an opportunity to come in here and create new roles and new identities for themselves. On the offensive side of the ball, I want to say I'm extremely proud of Dominic Giudice, or Giudice. Dom has done an excellent job transitioning from guard to center and really establishing the mentality and work ethic of our offensive line.
All right, that's a live listening to Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz here at SEC Media Days. You know what makes me mad, Tommy?
What's that?
That I actually like listening to him. I told
y'all both are dorks, so you probably makes sense.
Oh, you had to take a personal shot. Yeah. No, it's just like it drives me, and I've said this about him before. Like he's the most entertaining coach here this week, and it drives me nuts because I have to watch that stupid haircut beat us every single year.
Yeah.
He's lost to Arkansas one time since he stepped foot in Columbia.
Morning Rush Daily Question Part 2. Whose haircut is worse, Drinks or Ties?
That's just mean. That's too personal. Dork and bad hair. Yeah. I take more offense to the bad hair because we know that he has the worst haircut.
Are you ready to ask questions, or do you need to slip in there during the break and ask? Are you prepared for questions today? What's your first one for Drink?
It's like you've been a new head coach in this league before.
Name and affiliation.
Name and affiliation. Yep. Ty Richardson, ESPN Arkansas, The Morning Rush. Now, Chuck and Bo offered to pay me $100 to say, what did they say? Chuck and Bo contributor.
Oh, so you should do it. $100 are you gonna... I'll split it with you.
Okay, so you get 50, I get 50.
Yes,
that's a lot of beer. That's 2 30-packs right there.
Yeah, or the kind you drink 4.
Yeah, good natural life. That's 3 of them. The name and the affiliation is the most important thing.
Name
I learned
and affiliation
in Portland, Oregon. And then San Jose. But No, I think, like, I just want to – a lot of these coaches, you've got a few first years, but, I mean, Drink's been around. He outlasted Pittman. I guess technically he outlasted Kiffin because Kiffin moved on. And obviously Mike Leach no longer with us, but those were the core four that came in together in 2020. It's like, hey, what advice would you have as a first-year coach? And I'd be curious if any of those guys would actually give sufficient answers.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would or not, but.
All right, let's hit the break early.
Okay.
Again, and then maybe we'll come back and we'll hear some people that do it right. Name and affiliation, then a hard-hitting question.
Okay.
We'll dip back in, unless you got something better.
That's fine with me. The Ahmad Hardy stuff, I mean, for those that maybe the best running back in the SEC with the – I mean, you don't hear about bullet wounds a lot in the SEC, but that's what he's having to deal with. And then Austin Simmons, their new quarterback who came over from Ole Miss. Yeah, that's kind of the Missouri thing.
Is he still talking? Pop that back up. Is he still talking?
Again, the identity hasn't changed. We're going to be a dominant downhill run, vertical pass, and focus on execution. Defensively,
so he still hadn't gone to questions yet. All right.
RUC, he's probably bloviating, so he doesn't have to answer any.
All right, we'll let him bloviate, and then we'll move on and here's some real questions coming up. Hey, we're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. A lot of our friends and neighbors have been spending some time recently at Gaston's or making plans to be to Gaston's in the near future. Now's the time for fall plans. Had someone email in last week about Thanksgiving plans, holiday plans. It's never too early to book your cabin or lodge and spend your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
I'm reminded of the great American philosopher Vincent Spicoli, who once observed that you're here and I'm here, so it's really our time.
This is the Morning Rush.
It's peak grilling season, and nothing hits the flame quite like beef. From hearty steaks to crowd-pleasing burgers, the rich flavor and perfect sizzle make every cookout worth gathering for. So fire up the grill, bring on the heat, and serve the taste that defines summer. Beef, it's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers. Courtesy of Beef, it's what'sfordinner.com.
I won't pretend to be up here and defend Bryson. I'm not particularly fond of him.
This is the Morning Rush.
What could you do with $10,000? Well, now's as good a time as any to find out. It's time for our very first Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources. Just visit us at 4515 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith and enter to win $10,000. While you're here, check out any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles, inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. It's the Wrath Big Ath 10K Summer Giveaway, brought to you by Wrath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, WrathAutoFortSmith.com. No purchase necessary and see dealer for complete rules.
Introducing Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa with bright citrus, real red jalapenos, guajillo chiles. Usually, you add sauce to the food, but when the sauce is this good, the food is just there to get the sauce to your mouth. That rolled quesadilla, not a rolled quesadilla anymore. Now it's a sauce shovel. Taco Bell's jalapeno citrus salsa. Get it with any item on the Cantina chicken menu while it's here. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. While supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, you can get $80 off DeWalt Atomic 20-volt brushless impact and driver kits, or $50 off select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook, with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Presented by Central Hydraulics. When your equipment slows down, every minute matters.
At Central Hydraulics, they keep your machines operating with the power and precision they were built for. From custom hydraulic hoses made while you wait to cylinder rebuilds, pump repairs, and hard-to-find parts. Their technicians get you solutions you need. Fast, accurate, and done right the first time. Stop by 6104 Highway 271 in Fort Smith or call 479-646-0471. Whether it's a simple hose replacement or a major hydraulic repair, they're here to keep your equipment performing. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Championship caliber teams like the Razorbacks rely on proven performers. So do smart businesses. That's why Datamax proudly partners with Kyocera Office Technology, recognized by Keypoint Intelligence for delivering the industry's most consistent color performance. Kyocera is built for reliability, security, and results you can count on. Combined with the local service and support you've trusted for years, it's a winning combination for your business. Datamax, relevant technology, raving results.
When it's time to stock the bar, fill the cooler, or grab the perfect bottle, stop by River Point Wine and Spirits. You'll love our clean, organized store, full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer at the right price. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. So come stock up for game night, date night, or the weekend ahead. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning. Is your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore? Dr. Bo Sparkman at Valley Family Dental Practice, Fort Smith, can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 226-3500. Get rid of your CPAP with Valley Family Dental at Riley Farm in Fort Smith and Roland, Oklahoma.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Join Lewis Automotive as they celebrate America's 250th celebration with the Pick One event, where it's your choice of a $250 gas card, an Arctic cooler, or a 2-year maintenance plan with the purchase of any new or used vehicle.
All right, before we go back to Eli Drinkwitz, Missouri head football coach, Tommy, big news that broke earlier in hour number 1, Razorback basketball heading back to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, I'm going to play the Indiana Hoosiers on a Tuesday night, November the 17th. Bad Boy Mowers, an Arkansas company, is sponsoring this event at Madison Square Garden. So you stop and think about all the big marquee games Indiana added today. We'd heard rumors of another New York City game. We knew about North Carolina going to be played at the Dean Dome. Michigan State, it's at the Little Caesars Arena. It's wherever the Pistons play. Going to play in Detroit. Playing out at Arizona. I guess you're going to play where the Suns play. Is that right?
Correct. I couldn't tell you what the arena's called, but yes, correct.
So who am I missing? Indiana, North Carolina, Michigan State, Arizona, and got Gonzaga for
Gonzaga, preseason.
For a preseason.
And then this game, of course. So yeah,
benefit game, whatever you want to call it. Exhibition game. So
that's what, 6? That's pretty good.
Who did I miss there? Gonzaga, Indiana, Michigan State, Arizona, North Carolina. Is there another one? That's 5.
I thought we missed one. We need to write this down.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But that's going on. Also, the other Arkansas news, Davion Thompson's reclassifying. Kind of thought this was going to happen. He's the kid that committed in the class of 2027, and he is reclassifying. So that's pretty much it. I don't think Caleb Arrigo has technically reclassified yet, but all indications, it sure seems like from what I'm reading, thinks that's going to happen. That means your class is locked up. And I say your roster is locked up for this year.
Yeah, so that some of the big hog headlines, and the big one that broke during the show this morning, Arkansas and Indiana, Tuesday,
Let's go.
November 17th, Madison Square Garden.
Let's go. All right, real quick before we go back to drink, I got to read this, Tommy. I was reading it to Alyssa during the break, and she was cracking up laughing. Did you see Rex Ryan's tweet about Ella Langley this weekend?
I didn't. I'm afraid I did not.
So she was in Baltimore with Brother Morgan, and he had this to say. Look, I've been around football my whole life. I've coached in Baltimore, won a lot of games, and seen some incredible performances. But let me tell you something. Ella Langley had Baltimore in the palm of her hand tonight. As the kids say, I'm officially an Ella fella. I don't make the rules. At Ella Langley Music, hashtag Ella fella, hashtag Baltimore, hashtag NFL, hashtag Ravens flock. Bought in.
I mean, he's not wrong. Now, if I was going to have a city in the palm of my hand, I don't think I'd choose Baltimore.
Baltimore?
But that
Mine
being
would be
said,
Charleston.
yeah.
If I had a choice. Not Charleston, Arkansas. Charleston, South Carolina.
What's wrong with Charleston, Arkansas?
There's nothing wrong with Charleston, Arkansas. I think Charleston, South
Well.
Carolina is the greatest city in the world. And if I didn't love my job, I'd move there tomorrow. Great city.
And
but
do
I love
what?
my job.
And do what?
I'd figure it out.
Yeah.
I'd figure it out. I'd be a classic millennial and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what Drink's figuring out here.
Learned enough to survive and keep on going. And I think, if I can help share that with people, I absolutely will. The Arkansas game moving was a surprise to me. I've always enjoyed that being a rivalry at the end of the year. But the thing about rivalries is it doesn't matter when you play them. They're still important. We're playing Kansas week 2. That's a pretty important rivalry. Didn't matter if we played them last week of the season or second week of the season. Arkansas this year, we're playing on the road on Halloween. It's going to be an important game for our season. I know it's going to be an important game for their season. And then, we get Oklahoma at the end of the year. But hell, if the playoffs expand, at the end of the season, you might be resting players. So I don't know, when the games are played might not matter as much if you expand to a 64-team tournament like the FIFA World Cup is. So
my God.
I don't worry about all
that. You got some comments on that?
64-team tournament?
He's joking.
Well, yeah.
But how about the timing of that, piping it in as soon as he says about that? You think Missouri fans, we always look at the Arkansas vantage point, and I haven't talked to a single Arkansas fan that's been disappointed about putting LSU at the back end of this season. You think Missouri fans are kind of bummed that they don't get to play Arkansas at the end of the year?
I think it's good for Arkansas to play it in the middle of the year.
I do too.
All right, let's see what else he's got to say.
Level has been at the forefront of the discussion around him since arriving to college at Ole Miss as a freshman. What does a quarterback with an intelligence level like that bring to the table to your offense? And more importantly, how does it help him bridge the gap as a transfer?
Yeah, I think anytime you have an intelligence factor that you can make same-as comparisons, it helps you retain information quickly. I think he does have a photographic memory, which is usually a high sense of intelligence. I think part of that intelligence gets him in trouble a little bit because he thinks he can, he's met his match as far as of intelligence. And so, there's some things that he can't get away with that maybe he got away with before. But I think that's good. They're challenging each other is a way to grow. And so I'm very excited. I think the best thing about Austin is his communication skills. He can communicate at a high level about what he's seeing, what he understands, how routes are similar to what he's done in the past that he really liked. And that's accelerated the growth between Coach Lindsey, Coach Riley, and what we're doing. I think that the thing that's really been cool to watch on our offensive side of the ball is we've got a lot of flexibility in scheme. And now it's about, okay, we can take this concept and this concept and this concept and marry it to what Austin really likes. And I think that's what great coaches do.
Okay, we'll stay in the center aisle. Just over to our right-hand side, Coach, about 4 rows.
Coach Ryan Shapiro, Columbia, Missourian. Last year, you renewed the rivalry with Kansas, and this year you play them again in week 2. And the fans in Columbia were really embracing that game last season. But after this year, it's not on the schedule again until about 2031 for another home-and-home. Do you foresee any possibility of that becoming an annual game, especially considering other teams in the conference play out of conference rivalry games?
Yeah, it probably depends if the Cruz Cantwell bill gets passed and they make us play regional rivalries. Nobody laughed at that. Too much nuance in that joke.
Some people shouldn't try to be
scheduling is such
funny.
a unique challenge.
You don't think he did? That took me a sec to.
Yeah, I mean, anyway, back to drink.
Get out of them. I know we're playing the Illinois game next year, so that's a regional rivalry.
All right, stop there. Who are we rooting for in that? Drink or Bielema? The Illinois game. Illinois and Missouri. Are we rooting for Barry Lunny and Bielema?
I think
Justin Stepp's there now. Are we rooting for those guys or are we rooting for Drink? Who are we rooting for in that game?
I got to say Illinois. Like, Bielema, as much as pain he caused us at some point, there was some joy.
Yeah.
I mean, 2015 was a fun year. I know you obviously went to high school with Barry, and he had success here as a quarterback. So yeah, I'd go Illini, and I have a couple buddies that work there, so yeah, I'll favor the Illini there.
All right, back to Drake.
What was your rationale in hiring Chip Lindsey, and what do you think he brings to your staff offensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. Obviously, I think Chip does have something to prove. I think Chip's been a really good football coach for a long time, but it hasn't ended the way he wants to in his last couple of jobs. And so now he's got an opportunity to really come into a really difficult league. When he was at his best, at the high mark of his career, he was the offensive coordinator at Auburn and doing really great things there.
You know, Tommy, I hate to bridge this way, but I didn't know this until we just got a text. I heard Lindsay, and then I saw this text. Did you see, unfortunately, Jim Lindsay passed away?
I did see that news.
Yeah.
I
had
should
not
have mentioned that much sooner.
I apologize to the Lindsay family and for those that are big Arkansas fans. I had not seen that until I just got a text. But, yeah, and part of the 64 national championship team. Want to give condolences to his family and obviously his teammates and everyone else that knew him. Again, one of the pillars in the Arkansas football community is dead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So I apologize for not getting to that earlier.
All right, more coming up from Media Days. Alyssa's going to take over. Does she have her planner? I bet she brought all her stuff with her.
She has her notebook.
Yeah.
She's locked in, ready to go.
Matt's been in there like doing calisthenics and getting ready to go. Matt's all fired up, ready to go. Colton's back. He's fired up. So we'll have more from SEC Media Days presented by the Stadium Shop coming up with the halftime crew on the way. Who's up this afternoon? We got Venables from OU that's already spoke this morning. Drink speaking now.
Yeah, you got Will Stein for Kentucky, Tommy, and then we'll hear from Josh Heupel, who Arkansas will play this season in October at home.
Will Stein from Kentucky. I'm going to plan my afternoon around that. That is for sure.
Heupel's not exactly the most entertaining coach either.
Well, at least they're on your schedule, but my God, will there be 10 people in the room when
Oh,
Will Stein
man.
speaks?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. All right, that's going to wrap up for at least this show. Like Tommy said, halftime follows shortly after. Alyssa is sitting here right next to me. We'll have coverage all week, and then Ruskin and Zach after halftime as well. For Tommy and Big C, I'm Ty. We're back tomorrow live from Radio Row at 9 a.m.
The Saracen Casino Hotel is now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story hotel features 318 modern